Do I have a message for you, my darling? If you are here, it's probably for a reason. It's probably because you felt me feeling this, feeling maybe your thoughts, feeling the energy. I don't know, whatever. But I want you to hear this because it just came through so strongly. There is your timeline and there's God's timeline. There is your plan, then there is God's plan. There is the way you want it to go and think it's going to go. And then there's the actual way it needs to go in order for you to have all the things that you most desire. But here's what we do as humans, as celestial beings, as whatever the frick we are on this floating rock in a universe. We have no idea why we're here and we don't know how long it's going to last. So we should probably all take it a little less seriously and have a lot more fun. And we can get so caught up on not having the thing yet, or not being the place yet, or not having the money or the person or whatever it is that we don't have. And the unfortunate thing is the constant worrying about not having it keeps our focus on the fact that we don't have it, which means we're focusing on lack, which means it's impossible for us to manifest. Maybe listen to that again. And at the end of the day, you have no idea what the pathway is going to look like to get to the life that you've never yet experienced, that maybe no one in your lineage or your timeline or your whole family have ever experienced. You don't know the way there. No one else around you knows the way there. No one online who has the blueprint to the way there actually knows the way there for you. None of them. They know the way there for them, and even they don't even probably even know the way that they got there, because there's not just one way. There's a 10 million different things we do at any given moment, or any given moment of the day, or any given day of the week or the year or the journey, that all adds up to us manifesting and experiencing the things that we do. It's never just one thing. It's never just one blueprint or pathway. This is why I don't teach the blueprint to make $1 million, or the blueprint to tune into your intuition, or the blueprint to manifesting your soulmate or your dream house. Like, I don't teach that, because you know the way, and not even you know the way. You as in higher self you knows the way, but you as human 3D you, surrounded by contrast, surrounded by other people's opinions, surrounded by all the crap you got to do every day, you don't actually know. And the power that you have is choosing to tune in to higher self you so much more often than you're doing right now. So much more often than you're doing right now. Because when you clear out all the clutter out there, and clear out all the clutter that might be in your physical body, the stress, the bad foods, the alcohol, or any of the things that might be happening or being put in you that stresses you out, which means your mind can't focus, which means you can't do anything, let alone do the things you got to do and tune into you. Sorry, I get a little bit wild when this happens, but you got to hear it. You have the way. You, as a 3D person, just doesn't know the way. But when you start to create space in your mind and your soul and your consciousness, whatever you want to call it, to tune in to what you need to do to start to feel the different textures of energy when you think about this potential pathway, or this potential timeline, or this potential choice you could make, or this potential, like, when you create the space in your mind to really tune into the energetics of these different possible things that you could do in your life, you know when you take time to do it. And I know what you're going to say, I don't have time. You actually do. If you don't have time, then you don't have time not to do this, because you could have so much more time and money and love and energy and beautiful things happening in your life if you started tuning into the path that's right for you and not for everyone else, so that you can get there and have more of that stuff. But we get so caught up in all the noise around us and what other people say that we should be doing that isn't freaking working. Am I right? Am I right? But you know that when you slow things down, like maybe you've done it before, maybe you've never done this, but when you slow things down enough, when you tune things out enough, and you actually take time to sit with the emotions, to sit with the energy, to sit with the different possibilities for your life, you move past that initial like, I don't know, I'm scared, I fight or flight, like, oh, someone else did that and they had the bad thing. When you move past all that, because that's your fear of response, that's not what you want to listen to. And a lot of the times I've done a lot of trainings on this, people confuse intuition and fight or flight all the time. They confuse intuition with the fear response in the body all the time. We confuse intuition with anxiety all the time because we're not slowing down enough to know the difference. It's always going to be fear response or anxiety or fight or flight if you haven't slowed down. It's always going to be fear response if you haven't slowed down, which means you're going to be making choices out of fear, which never lead you to the joy and the peace and the things that you actually want. Oh my God, those ladies who walks past us, so cute. They're all about it. They're not making choices from fear. I bet they know how to slow down. And when you create the space to slow yourself down enough to sit with the yuckiness, with the stickiness, with the emotions, with the things that are happening in your life, and just contemplate, what if I go this way? What if I choose this? What if I do this thing? What if I talk to this person? What if I make this decision? And you slow it down and you sit with each potential energy. You feel the difference. You feel whether it opens up or whether it doesn't. It is magical when you start to feel this. It's almost too much when you start to feel this. And then, my goodness, when you start to step in those directions and trust that feeling and trust your own guidance rather than everyone else's guidance that's not even for you. Potentially it's more from their fear response to what you're going through, or their intentions of wanting you to keep going through problems so that they look better in their life. Like, there's so many things that are happening under the surface. It's never malicious. It's always unconscious, and it's happening all the time. But this is why it's so important for you to tune into your way, your guidance, your intuition, your path. And in that, you find so much trust in God's way, in your higher self way, in the universe way, whatever you want to call it. But also you surrender to that timeline that you don't even get to know. And in that space, there is so much more joy. There is so much more peace. There is so much more relaxation and calm and nurture and nourishment, because you trust yourself, because you know yourself. You've slowed down enough to meet yourself, to sit with yourself, and to know yourself, and to know that you always know. And then when you take those steps in those ways that you go, oh, maybe I actually know that, and you realize that it opens things up, woo! It's incredible, and I want you to feel it. So I wonder what could happen if you chose to realize that you have the power. You are always in control. The question is, are you going to create the time and space to slow down enough to feel it? I'm going to go now. If this hit you, make sure you share a comment. Let me know what landed and share it with anyone who might need it. I'll see you guys on the next one.